At 7:15, we got the 6th seed 49ers, which is at 10-7, traveling to number 1 seed Packers, which is at 13-4. Packers favorite had 5.5 points on Fox.
Do it live!
So let's go with the Niners injuries real quick. You got Trenton Cannon has a concussion. He's out until this week. We'll see if they can get him off IR. Raheem Mostert is out for the season with his knee injury. Mohamed Sanu would be a nice piece. I'm not going to lie. He would be a nice piece to have for the San Francisco 49ers unit to get back on your team. He's on IR with a knee injury. He's supposed to return this week. We'll see if that happens. He would be a nice piece, though. If you're talking about a team that can make a run to the Super Bowl, you would love to have an experienced veteran at wide receiver to complement Deebo Samuel and Brandon Ayuk. Jawan Jennings has been doing a solid job, but obviously Mohamed Sanu would be a nice piece to have on your team. Defensive end, D4.
These nuts. Got him!
Has a back injury. He's on IR, likely out for the season. Defensive tackle Javon Kinlaw has an ACL injury. He's out for the season. Jordan Willis, who has been a big player since D Ford has been hurt. He had a knee injury. An ankle injury, limited practice. He's questionable for the game. If he doesn't play, you're gonna have to rely a lot more on Charles Omenihu, the defensive end they got from the Texans. Cornerback Ambry Thomas has a knee injury, limited practice, questionable for the game. He would be a big miss, too, for the San Francisco 49ers unit. Jason Verrett also has been out for a while, but he has a knee injury, ACL, out for the year. Free safety Tarvarius Moore has an Achilles injury. He's on the PUP list. And strong safety Tavon Wilson has a foot injury. He's on IR. Designated to return this week. We'll see if that pulls out. Okay, so the Packers, on the other hand, they don't have too many injuries, but some of them are pretty notable. Obviously, this one's not. Running back Kylan Hill has a knee ACL injury. He's on IR. Tight end Robert Tonyan has a knee ACL. He's on IR. That would obviously... Robert Tonyan's a nice piece to have on the team, but Mercedes Lewis and others have been... Daphne, for instance, have been doing a fine job of stepping in. Now, this one's a pretty big injury. Wide receiver Marquez Valdes-Scantling has a back injury, did not practice, so he's doubtful for this game. That would be a big loss, but at the same time, you're getting back Randall Cobb, but you don't have that same deep threat outside of Devontae Adams. Alan Lazard, as nice of a player as he is, he's not exactly the same burner as Marquez Valdes-Scantling, and Randall Cobb does his best work in the slot, not exactly a burner either. So it's going to be interesting how they deal with not having Marquez Valdes-Scantling. Probably going to do fine, but still. Malik Taylor has a shoulder injury. He's on IR. Designated to return this week. I don't know if they're going to use him, but they might add him onto the roster if he's healthy enough to go, considering they're without Marquez. Left tackle David Bakhtiari had a knee injury, did not practice, questionable for the game. He hasn't played for most of the season. He would be a huge addition come playoff time, considering how consistent he is and considering they're trying to go against Nick Bosa and amongst others. He would be a nice piece to have on this team, but we'll see if he's going to be able to go. Left outside linebacker Chauncey Rivers has an ACL injury after the year. Left inside linebacker Ty Summers has a hammy. He's designated to return this week off IR. We'll see if that turns out. And right outside linebacker Randy Ramsey has a leg injury. He's set to return this week as well. And then finally, they could get Jair Alexander, which they've been missing all season long. He had a shoulder injury. He's limited practice this week, questionable for the game. We'll see if they can get Jair Alexander back. He would be a huge addition to this unit. We'll see if they can pull it through and get him. Personally, I'm leaning towards the Niners in this matchup. I know it's crazy talk here. You're talking about the Packers, who I think are the second best team in the entire NFL, right? I love the Packers, but on the other hand, you're talking about a Packers unit that's going to be without Valdes-Scantling. And I know that doesn't seem like a big deal, but it is a big deal to me. Because without Valdes-Scantling, you don't have the burner outside of Devontae Adams, which is pretty significant. The Niners can play closer up. Now, they still have Lazard. They get Cobb back from injury. And there's a reason why I'm cautious about this pick. But the Niners look so good against Dallas. And if Jimmy Garoppolo can just not make mistakes, he's going to have to go out there and win a game. And to be fair, if Jimmy G loses this game, he might lose his job. This is what happened to Jared Goff last year. He got his team to the Divisionals, played the Packers, ended up losing the game despite having a broken thumb and without some of his better running backs and better receivers. So we'll see if how this works out, but I do believe the Niners have an elite ground game. I feel like they proved that last week. You have some actual pieces there. I'm actually kind of interested to see Elijah Mitchell. They didn't really use JaMychal Hasty or Jeff Wilson as much as I thought they would. They really kind of just went Elijah Mitchell and Deebo Samuel. But the Niners have some pieces there. If they can get Mohamed Sanu back, I think this is a dub for the Niners. Give me the San Francisco 49ers to go on the road and pull off the upset against Green Bay.